Today's video is all about how long does it take to grind out the cost of premium on an established character. New players can also do these methods, however, they will be much slower and way less efficient at it. So let's begin, alright? So right now premium is 17.118 million silver. I did this test when premium was rounded up to 17 million silver. So essentially everything I'm going to talk about today is around the cost of 17 million silver. The first thing that I did was solo dungeon grinding, which is absolutely horrible. You should never ever run solo dungeons. They have been nerfed into complete oblivion. So I ran solo dungeons, tier 5 yellow zone dungeons in a full 8.3 set that is geared at blowing up the dungeon as fast as possible. And it took me 38 hours of doing dungeons to get 17 million silver. That is the worst it's ever been in the history of this game. Solo dungeons are a dead legacy old content that you should never do, so do not grind solo dungeons ever, 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 ever to make premium. Now, if you Google the fastest way to make silver, you're going to see it as like the first result, because it used to be one of the best ways to get silver, but it's been nerfed over the years, and now it is completely worthless. So do not do solo dungeons. Test number 2 was gathering. I did tier 8 stone mining in a tier 4 blue zone, and it took me 15 hours to make 17 million silver. Normally I can farm 1.2 million an hour-ish, and that about adds up to 15 hours-ish. I think it's actually a little bit less. So I might have gotten a little bit unlucky, or I might not have been farming efficiently. I just, turned on music and watched some anime, watched some new series. I've been watching a lot of animes lately, but just tier 8 stone mining in a tier 4 blue zone. That's how long it took, only 15 hours, not too bad. I could do that in one sitting if I was really dedicated, or a couple days, I guess, if I wanted to spread it out. Method number 3 used to be a really good one, and that is growing and selling laborers. So how do you grow a laborer? Well, whenever you own a house or a guild hall, you can click this parchment and buy a laborer for 1,000 silver. It's a little bit cheaper right now due to global discount, but you would level it up from tier 2 to tier 5 and then sell it on the market. And I did this test a while back. I actually started this when the price was announced, and it took over 30 days to raise 17 million. I think in 30 days I did get around 18 million. So it could be technically less than 30 days, but in that 30 days it was a slog. I had to fill journals and just feed them every single day. And I missed a few days here and there, but still, it takes way too damn long to be reliable. Like, you're going to spend all your time feeding laborers to get premium, and then you're going to run out of premium by the time you can afford it again. So don't do this. Next up, I did Stalker Corrupted Dungeons because I had seen a Russian player back in the day who only did Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, and he was able to afford an entire year of premium in just 3 days. And I've always been trying to replicate that, and I've never succeeded. But I did spend 21 in-game hours with 4 deaths doing Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, using a tier 6 Curse Staff build, and I got it in 21 hours, so it's not as good as just plain old gathering, really. But it's, if you like the PvP, and I didn't opt in for PvP like the Russian guy did. I chose to just rat the dungeons as best I could, and I still died a few times due to either mistakes or the build was just specifically made to catch rats. So there you go. Alright, the next method was Caerleon transport flipping, and unfortunately I wussed out on this one. I didn't complete the test, but I was able to pull 6 million silver in 3 hours of transporting without any deaths. But once I hit that 6 million, I was like, nah, I'm not risking this, but I believe it could be doable in 9 hours. That's with deaths, because basically what you do is you take all of your silver and you load up an ox with as much food as you can from Caerleon, or whatever's cheaper there, and you transport it to Bridgewatch, or Fort Sterling, or Lyndhurst, or wherever, and you sell it for a big profit. And then what you do is you buy a bunch of stuff, like, say, Bridgewatch has cursed staves and daggers that they specialize in, so if I'm in Bridgewatch, I buy a bunch of those, drag it to Caerleon, and sell it for a big profit, and you just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, spending more and more and more silver on rarer and more items, and you will just continuously increase your money that way. But because you have to travel through the red zones to get to Caerleon, you can be killed by gankers. And I started seeing like every single zone was just filling up with hostile players. In the bottom right corner, you can see how many hostile players there are, and each zone had like 7 to 10. And I started seeing scouts at every yellow zone entrance, and I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm not going to finish this test. I'd rather keep the 6 million silver and just make a video how I failed to do it. So there you go. I'm sorry. Someone else can maybe inform you better on this, but I just did not have the courage to do it. Next up is faction fighting, and for this test, what I did was I only bought hearts. In this case, I flagged for Bridge Watch, and I would buy beast hearts from the faction vendor. Just faction fighting, just going out and doing random stuff, nothing specific. I would be capturing outposts with the blobs, 1v1ing gatherers, killing transports, and all that stuff, which I did factor in too, is when you kill a transport, especially a 3-stack, that's like 6 hearts, easy mode, but it took 71 hours, and the reason why I felt this was so low is you get way less faction points if you don't have premium, but at the same time also, it just seems like faction points have been nerfed. I don't know if there's anything in the patch about this, but I felt like every time I was getting the faction point bonus, I was getting way less. And from my internal testing, it seems like the more players active in faction fighting, the less points that everyone gets as a whole. And this does not involve red zone like bandit events. So I completely skipped bandit event because I don't like joining discords for stuff. I'm just a weirdo. This is purely yellow zone faction fighting, by the way. So 71 hours, it is a lot of time. But hey, it's my favorite activity in the game. So to me, it's not really a lot of time. But it is if you only care about getting premium. The next one is an activity that I did not do, but I did do the math on it, and that is faction heart transports. Okay, it's an absolutely stupid activity. No one should ever do faction heart transports at all, unless you're a bot or something, okay? It does not grow your character. You get nothing for transporting hearts except more hearts to sell, which is really stupid. It's an okay amount of money if you're like a brand new player and you want to go all in or something, but other than that, you're not growing your character by doing faction heart transports, so it's really stupid, and it's massively, massively risky. It takes just a few dismounting characters on a road to end it for you, and you will be so far behind if you lose just one transport. But if you have no gankers and you're not forced to do detours due to gankers, it is 24 hours of doing it through yellow zones, not red zones. I did not calculate red zones. The fastest heart transport in the game is Caerleon to Limhurst, which I don't flag for Limhurst, and I think you can cut the time down in half. So I would say if you're doing the red zone heart transports, depending on how much those sell for, it would be 12 hours, but I don't have clear math on that method because I don't personally do it or know much about it. Alright, now, ghost farming is the next method that I want to talk about, and I don't even know if I have my method numbers correct on the video anymore. I've been pumping videos like crazy. I'm very tired, but ghost farming. Okay, so on some trips, 30-minute trips, that is from riding from the portal zone, not the towns, but like I spawn here, Bridgewatch Portal, and I ride out to the Sepulchre of Magic, which is somewhere, yeah, here it is, it's down here, so it's not too far away, it's like 1, 2, 3, it's 4 zones away. And then I go here and I farm ghosts. And what the ghosts drop are arcane essences, which are used to enchant potions, and I'm a potion crafter myself. But I'm just selling them raw. And in some 30-minute trips, I would make 300,000, and in others, I would barely pull 70,000, but these zones are highly camped by entire guilds now. It's not like there's just like people free farming it. So most of the time I was chased away or killed. But the times that I did survive, that's about how much I made in 30 minutes time. So you're looking at, let's say the best case scenario, you make 300k in 30 minutes, right? So 17 million divided by 300,000 would be about 57 hours of ghost farming. Not counting how, re-years when you die and all that stuff. So absolutely terrible method. Don't do this. And now, method number 9 is just mob grinding. Okay, when I grind open world mobs, I can usually get around 150,000 per hour. So that's 114 hours of mob grinding. And mob grinding tier 4 static zones, that includes silver dropped and treasure loot every 45 minutes. There are treasure chests that spawn in the tier 4 static zones that have anywhere from like 50,000 to 500,000 in silver. Now, this is a test that I actually did, not just doing the theory on the math, and it took me 34 hours of grinding tier 4 statics to make 17 million silver from mob drop, because they're undeads. They drop the undead cape material, which sells at the time for like 260,000. I think it's down now to 190,000. So the market has been equalizing out, because when the mists came out, the undead capes were selling like hotcakes because everyone needed one to escape and so they could rat. So the prices went up big time for the material. But that's when I did the test, is back when that released, and to get 17 million silver took me 34 hours. It's something that I normally do anyway, so it's also pretty enjoyable. So I do recommend it, even though it takes longer than gathering. You still get fame, even if you don't have satchel. You still get fame credits at 20% rate, which is not bad. You can farm about 2 million fame per hour without premium, without satchel, without auto respec. I know some people were wondering that too. So this is probably my favorite method to earn premium. As an established player, as a new player, you can't solo statics. I'm sorry, you have to do the yellow zone method. So that's 4 times as long, but once you have the gear and the specialization, you can do it. And that's why I advise a lot of new players, they should have a weapon that can area of effect farm group content as a solo, because it's the fastest way to advance your character. And my final method, method number 10, I think this is number, I don't know, I've lost count, is market flipping. Now, this is not really viable for new players either, because you're not going to know the market. You don't study the market, but I sat down for 16 hours straight just buying and selling things off the market that I knew were good deals or bad deals, and I used up around 40 million silver to make 17 million additional silver. So in the end, I came out with 57 million silver, but it took me 16 hours. So I'm technically not even making a million silver per hour with market flipping. It's up there. It's like 850 to 900,000, whatever the math is. I don't know the exact math, but it's not a million silver per hour. But I was able to do it in one sitting, so this is something you could do if you already have silver and want to get premium in a reasonable amount of time, even though it's not really reasonable at all. The problem I also have with market flipping is it does not strengthen your character like mob grinding does. You're not getting fame, you're not getting gathering experience or anything like that. It's just a way to make silver by basically taking advantage of people that don't know the market. But with that said, guys, it looks like the best method on this list was gathering, just having a tier 8 gathering set and gathering in a tier 4 zone. Just turn on some music, watch some anime, and before you know it, you'll have more than enough silver for premium in just a few days. But guys, I'm soul benching videos every day. Hopefully this helped you out. And I know a lot of these methods I listed, new players are going to spend way more time than, like obviously a new player can't just go on 8.3 and fame farm and, mob grind. They can't do that. They have to start at tier 5, like 5.3 on their first day, and it's going to take them twice as long. So just keep that stuff in mind. But videos every day on this channel. I hope this helped you get premium or grind for premium if you can't afford to pay for it in real life, which I understand. I wouldn't pay real money for this. I would definitely play in game and earn it. But anyway, videos every day. Make sure you leave a comment, because I read every comment. I might even reply to yours if it's something I haven't already made a video about or answered a million freaking times. But with that said, too, leave a like. Also, it really helps out the video, and I need all the help I can get. Otherwise, it's goodbye YouTube channel. With that said, too, videos every day, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and watch tomorrow's video. But at the same time, on the right side of your screen is a video you should absolutely click. So go ahead and help me out. Click that video. Go give that video a watch. There's also a pinned comment, maybe if I don't forget, of a video that you should watch. And if you want to help me out, click that join button. There is a join button right below this video somewhere, I think on the left side, maybe. $5 a month gets you access to private, more personal videos that are too good for the public, so you might find some juicy silver making methods there that I didn't talk about here. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.